Texas Tech. Texas Tech, led by Noah Storm, wins the national championship. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Decaf Dr. Thunder, and I'd like to be the first to welcome you to The Gambler. We're here at the Rucker for a charity basketball game Noah Storm was invited to on his week off. He's facing off against some of the NBA's greatest players, and the winning team is going to get $50,000 to donate to the charity of their choice. They're playing to 32, obviously, for the combined numbers of Kobe Bryant over his career, who tragically passed away in a helicopter crash in February. I'd like to pay our respects to him. But that's not really what we're here for today. We're here to talk about Noah Storm and his meteoric rise to fame. It all started on August 13th, 1999. Noah Storm was born in Mathis Hospital. He was born to Nicole and Davis Storm. They were two just average working class Americans, and they lived and were both born and raised Mathis, Texas, and Noah Storm would go on to be raised there as well. Growing up, he only had three basic ideals: sports, Christ, and family. Those are the three pillars that his life was built on, and the three pillars he lives his life to this day. Growing up, he always just was so loving of sports. He would go outside. It was his life. He'd go outside and work all day. He had a hoop in his driveway, and he'd go out and play with his three brothers, and they would practice basketball and football all day. That's really all they did as children. They started to grow up. Noah realized that if he kept working hard, he had a chance at being something special. So, as the starting shooting guard for his high school varsity team, starting as a freshman, and he was starting as a quarterback as well on the football team. It was a very small town. He always looked for opportunities to just strive to be better, and his dad really helped him along the way. Until one day, when Noah was 14 years old, his dad got drafted into the war in the Middle East, and unfortunately, that would be the last time Noah ever saw him. The loss hit him pretty hard, and around 16 years old, he really hit a rock bottom in his life, and he was grinding too hard, and in a basketball game, he hurt his knee, and it looked like it might be the end of his sports career. He went into a deep depression about his father, and he kind of just hit a really low point. But then, one fateful day, on November 11th, Veterans Day, he met Isaiah Streets. They were both at Mathis Park, which was basically a glorified field. Noah had been going there all his life to play football with his brothers, and some of his buddies would meet up there sometimes. Isaiah wasn't from Mathis, he was from the town down the road, but Noah was sitting there having a picnic, mourning his father, when a football rolled up to him. And he looked up, and there was Isaiah, and he asked Noah if he wanted to play some catch. And that would be the beginning of Noah's comeback and just meteoric rise, honestly. He would recover from his injury, and he would form quite a little bit of a friendly rivalry with Isaiah. They'd compete all through high school, and Noah would throw for 15 touchdowns in his 8-game season, the last season of his high school career. And he would He would lead his team to the state championship and go out on top as the number 2 recruit in the nation for quarterbacks. And signing day would come, and he would sign with Texas Tech, the hometown team, and go on to what he thought would be probably 2 years in college, maybe 4, and then, a draft pick and a shot at the NFL. Unfortunately for him, he'd get on campus, and 3 days later, the number 1 recruit in the country would sign up to Texas Tech. And Noah Storm would spend the next almost 4 years sitting on the bench behind someone, watching them live out his dream. Luckily, the starting quarterback for the team would get injured after taking their team to the college football playoffs, and Noah would get a shot, his final one and only shot as a senior at Texas Tech, to lead his team to a national championship and maybe hang on to a spot in the NFL. Luckily, as luck would have it, Noah Storm, who had been working his butt off for the past 4 years on the bench waiting for this moment to come, would come in and just absolutely tear it up in the college football playoffs. Completely dominant performance, and they would show up and win the national college football championship. So Noah Storm, you guys know where it goes from here. He gets invited to the NFL, or he gets invited to the combine, and goes 23rd overall to the Denver Broncos. He begins his rookie season and basically kind of takes the league by storm. He throws a lot of touchdowns, but he also throws a lot of interceptions. He develops the moniker the Gambler, and he leads his team and is looking right now to make it to the playoffs and hopefully lead them to a Super Bowl. And he's the running favorite for Rookie of the Year. Isaiah Streets is down at Texas Tech, and he's tearing it up as a wide receiver. They've fallen off a little bit with their new quarterback, but they're looking to hopefully get repeat champions here. And that's about where we stand with Noah Storm. He's really tearing it up here out on the basketball court as well. He was one of the top recruits in the nation as well for basketball, but he chose to follow his lifelong dream of becoming a quarterback in the NFL. And so far it's worked out for him and the Broncos. The Broncos came into the 2021 season looking for a quarterback. Their team was kind of in shambles. They had a horrible running back, one of the worst human beings in history, in Philip Lindsay. And their offensive line was not looking so good, and their defense wasn't looking very good either. But luckily, Noah Storm, the Gambler, would come in and turn the team around. They're currently sitting at 5-4 on top of the AFC West. It's only the beginning, really, for what Noah Storm has in store here for the team and for his career. He's just going to be the cornerstone of the franchise looking forward, and they're going to hope that they can build around him. They're not really legitimate Super Bowl contenders at this point, but they're looking to pick up some more key pieces and really move on here to the next stage of their team's lifespan. Meanwhile, Noah Storm is living out his dream as an NFL player. He every day wakes up, prays for his dad, and he really prays and plays for his dad. And just every game, I know that before in the locker room, we spoke to him before he came out here for the game, he sits down, takes a knee, and prays and just thanks God for his opportunity. And he knows that his dad is up there watching him every single game, and he knows that he's proud of him. Now, I don't know if you guys know it, but the leap from college to the NFL is a pretty big one. In college, you're not getting paid. You're basically just living poor off of ramen noodles in a one-room apartment. But now, Noah Storm is rolling in the cash. He's rolling in the cash. I'm told that his first paycheck, he went out, got some nice dinner with his family, and bought himself his dream car, 2020 Chevrolet Camaro, and he's honestly living the life. He came out here tonight. He's looking to support the U.S. Marines, which is the division that his father was in when he tragically passed away serving our country. Huge salute to Davis Storm. And speaking of, Noah Storm is absolutely tearing up the basketball court out here. He just threw down a monster jam, and he misses a three, unfortunately, but looks like the Ringers, Noah Storm's team, might have this one in the bag. Big blocks from Joel. And Paul George with the disgusting dunk. He got Noah Storm. He was sitting there on his bye week. It was a Monday afternoon. He was just sitting at his house watching some Office. He's a huge Office fan. If you talk to him, it's one of the first things you'll probably pick up about him. Loves The Office. He was sitting there, and his phone rings, and it's a number that he doesn't know. And he picks it up. He says, "Hello, who's this?" And on the other side, Joel Embiid says, "Noah, we'd like you to come down and play a charity game with us." They're huge fans of the Denver Broncos, and him and Kemba were looking for a third player to be on their team. And they knew Noah Storm had a history of basketball. And so they called him up. He said yes, and it's now Thursday night, and we're sitting here watching this all unfold. It's a pretty good game. They're playing Paul George, Stephen Curry, and Giannis. Giannis this year has led the Bucks to a pretty good start. So far, they are 29-3, and they haven't lost a game in 2 weeks. So the Bucks are rolling here. They're looking to pick up some momentum, but they had the night off, and they decided to put on a little charity classic for us here. So big shout out to this. The NBA and the NFL are looking to come together a little bit, and hopefully have more of these in the future. Rumor has it that if this game goes well in the way they hope and expect it to, they're actually gonna put together a little 8-team 3-on-3 tournament with 2 NBA players and 1 NFL player on each team, and that would be quite the show. So I hope this game goes well and that people will want to see that in the future. But right now it's 29-20. The Ringers are absolutely crushing the Ballers here. Kemba kicks it out to Noah Storm, who bricks yet another 3. He seems to be living it up out here, to be quite frank. He's been a solid player in this game, but he is making some poor decisions. Him and Isaiah are out there every day on the hoop, playing one-on-one, according to him and Isaiah. It's one of their favorite parts of the day. And really just showing out here, to be honest. Joel Embiid absolutely just finished Paul George's career with that block, but Noah Storm is quite loving the attention of his loving fans. Denver has really come around to their new quarterback, and they're excited for the future of their franchise in the hands of Noah Storm. Since he's been in the league, He's donated to many charities, and he's having the time of his life. He still thinks about his father, and he still remembers that one fateful day when he tore his ACL and thought it was all going to be over. And he honestly has Isaiah Streets to thank for him making his triumphant return to the league. And he's kind of tearing it up as well out here for the Ringers, but it's looking like they're going to get $50K to the Marines for No Storm's late father. And it's been a pretty dominant performance, to be honest. Kemba's going to bring it up the court on Giannis and take it in the lane and kick it out to No Storm, who hits a nice mid-range, puts him up one bucket away from the dub. Kicks it into Curry. Look at Curry, man. What an inspiration. Kemba's D'ing him up pretty tight, though, from the top. Oh, but Curry hits a little hezzy and takes it into the lane and hits a floater on Noah Storm. 31-24. Kemba's going to bring it up. Looks for a pass, kicks it to Embiid, gives it to Storm. Back to Embiid. In the lane. Loses his dribble, kicks it to Kemba. Kemba hits Noah Storm, and splash. What a way to go out. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you with this. Even when everything looks dark and everything's going not your way, just keep it going and look to the Father in heaven, and everything's going to be all right.